Before we continue with the lesson of discipline, as it were, I'd just like to remind you why we're doing this completely uninteresting assignment. It's basically a matter of discipline. You see, because a magician or a wizard or a sorcerer, if you will, must be able to, put on his desires and take off his desires, much like you would do a piece of clothing. You must be able to, train yourself in your desires. You must be able to turn your desires on and off, as it were, much like an actor playing a role. Or an actor can play, different types of roles. He can be a cop, a gangster, a judge, a businessman. Even though some actors get typecast, but that's basically what this assignment is about. This assignment is about being able to discipline yourself, being able to put one thought in front of you as opposed to others, and being able to switch thoughts and habits, being able to control your desires and habits, as it were. Basically, much the same as you would a cloak or a shirt. A magician or wizard or sorcerer or sorceress, if you will, must be able to go from the pure thought to the desire, putting their cloak on, as it were, their desire on and off, as they will. Okay? For example, you want to establish a new habit, replacing an old habit. We don't really break habits, we just simply put more attention to other habits, which then eventually replace the old habit. Right now I'm dressed in the color of action, psychologically the color of action. These are just general rules, you don't have to exactly see it this way. But let's just say that red is the desired color. Let's just say that red psychologically manifests as action in these particular rules of correspondences. You can make your own, you can assign your own inference and meaning to colors. I'm just going by what I was taught. Anyway, red is the psychological color, the color of desire. And I as a magician, you as a magician, should be able to control our desires, not let them rule us, but rule them instead. So I should be able to take off my psychological desire, my color, my habit, if you will, replace it with pure thought, an uncolored thought, an unmanifested type of thought, if you will. I can go from that to manifesting perhaps a thought of a mercurial nature or a uranial nature, a thought of concentration from perhaps a thought of concentration, perhaps in a diluted form, perhaps not as strong. I can go from that to perhaps concentrating to perhaps more vigorously in this mercurial nature. This concentration being deemed astrologically in Mercury, in the planet designated as Mercury. Anyway, this could represent a concentrated thought. And again, we must be able to focus our minds to go from one habit to another, so that our thoughts don't rule us, but we rule them. I can go from a concentrated thought, Mercury if you will, perhaps to a deeply meditative thought. Perhaps I'm recalling something in my memory. Perhaps I'm empathizing with something or someone. Perhaps I'm in a mode of temperance. I've completely neutralized my thoughts, where they're neither heavy or light, whether they're either black or white or positive or negative. Perhaps I'm in a mode of in transition, if you will, a mode of neutrality or temperance. Or perhaps we're in a mode of mental manifestation. And again, these color correspondences don't have to be your own. I was just basically reiterating the way I've been taught. This is just a psychological tool. And the exercise that we're doing is just to show you that you can do a task that is uninteresting, even if you don't want to, simply by performing little baby steps. And, little baby steps, little bits of attention, small, little acts of attention until you've manifested the habit or completed the goal, if you will. And this was only a reminder so that you don't get bored with this assignment. And it is a boring assignment. It's not something I would really want to spend my time doing. And the reason I don't read the text outright is because I haven't gotten any permission for reading something out like that that's been copyrighted. And also, if I just simply read the book, well, it still might serve your purposes as getting an uninteresting task completed, but it really wouldn't serve mine. I really would not be proving to you that you could do it, because I read books all the time. So for me, reading this is nothing. So that's why I'm taking the time out to read it, and then in my own words, regurgitate it to you, tell you what's in the book. Because if I just simply read it, not only would I be busting the copyright, which I don't want to do, but I wouldn't really be proving the task to you, because I read a lot. So, it wouldn't really be significant if I simply read it to you. It would just be me pulling your leg, basically. Now, we return to this totally uninteresting, boring task. All right, well, that's all I wanted to say. So, until next time, God bless. Live long, and prosper. And may the force be with you.